Okay, hello everyone. It's time to make some lentil soup. And we're single again for the second day in a row. Marina hasn't messaged me. And I realized I was kind of talking shit about her, and I think part of it was that I was just angry. You know, like Marina did this and Marina did that. And I was like, man, if she was here right now, I wouldn't be saying all this stuff. Like if she was talking to me, I'd be like, oh, you're perfect, I love you. As soon as she doesn't message me, I'm like, oh, she was so bad to me. And so there's this author I really like, and his name is Brad Blanton. And his book is called Radical Honesty. Today we're making lentil stew. And he says when you express how you feel about someone, you know, particularly at times of a breakup, which I'm not saying this is a breakup, but let's just say it is, just for the sake of hypothesis. These gross mushrooms, these organic fucking gross mushrooms. You're supposed to tell people the things that you resent them for, and you're supposed to tell them the things that you appreciate them for. And if you just stick to the things that you resent them for, you probably won't be able to get over them if you end up not talking. So, you know, you should probably tell them the things that you appreciate them for too. And you know, this is kind of sensitive, but apparently Marina made a video about this already, so it's not actually invading her privacy. I wouldn't have told you this already. I wouldn't have told you this, except for the fact that she already talked about it on a YouTube video. And she cut her nipples off. And I thought she may have, not done that, but I actually did believe her. And that's something I like about her, that I trust her, that she's honest. And she did that because of the gang stalkers, which I thought was retarded. You know, it's like I told my mom, and she's like, well, wouldn't they just suck her tits after her nipples got removed? Like my cousin said that too. I was like, she was worried of gang stalkers threatening her to suck her tits while she was sleeping, so she cut her nipples off. And plus her breasts were vibrating. And so therefore, she cut her nipples off. Now, I think that's retarded. I would tell her, don't hurt yourself. Don't get a vaccine as well. She got a vaccine, and I was like, that's really bad. Don't do that. But the fact that she did that is actually so cool, because it shows that she's dedicated. It shows that she's crazy, in a good way. You know, she's, wild. She plays it the way she believes it. And it also shows that she, kind of in a certain sense, it shows that she's a real TI. I mean, why would she do that otherwise if she... Now, there are gang stalkers who get gang stalked as well, and there are gang stalkers who are nuts. You know, and I don't think Marina's really nuts. But then again, I'm just saying that because she might be listening. I totally think she's nuts. But that's, you know, the reason I don't want to say I think she's nuts is because I'm worried she'll conflate that with, and gang stalking doesn't exist. Okay, I know gang stalking is real. And I also don't like to say that she's nuts, because anyone who is an innocent person who gets gang stalked will react in a way that is nuts. So it's almost like if you drug someone's drink and then call them dopey after. Oh man, that person just falls asleep. It's like, no, you drugged their drink. When you torture someone, harass them, fuck with them, they're gonna have a reaction that appears nuts. So to me it speaks of how innocent she is. She's a pure-hearted, pure soul. And she's never intentionally mean. She's very emotional. She plays it by how she feels. And she's always really kind to me. She said she wanted to pay for half my trip. And then when I was gonna stop eating to pay for the trip to visit her, or vice versa, she offered to pay for my entire trip. And I know that she's working hard for not much money. Someone gave her $20 to do hair extensions, to dye their hair extensions. That's not much money. And, people are, you know, giving her a hard time sometimes. she had this one person who was complaining about their hair, and she had to redo their hair. And I thought, I bet that was a gang stalker who was complaining. Yeah, I don't know where to put this fucking camera. Okay, we're just gonna put it over here. And she's really funny. Like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but like, I think she has yeah, my parents were gonna put me down. And then, and I was like, oh my God, that's like the funniest thing I've ever heard. And she's like, what do you think? And I was like, that sounds really crazy. And she started laughing. Like, I was like, I'm in love. Like, you're the fucking weirdest person I've ever met. And like, even if you're cool, like, I don't even care. Like, I love you so much. And, you know, I had to tell the things that I love about her too, because, you know, I've been kind of talking bad about her lately, and I actually feel really bad because every time I get a message from my cousin, I think it's Marina, and I'm like, oh, it's Marina, and then it's not Marina, and then I'm like, oh man, I bet she saw my videos, I bet she doesn't love me anymore. But I mean, Marina's like so weird and so cool. Like, I fucking love her so much. And she's really hot, and she's really cute how she talks. Like, she's like and subscribe. Like, she's telling everyone to like her videos, which I don't know if that's unique, but I mean, it's kind of endearing and funny that someone would, not funny like laughing at, but funny like no one really cares about gang stalking anyway. And she's like, you know, like, we're gonna get the word out there, guys. Like, she has like an innocent kind of spirit. Like, okay, we gotta like tell everyone about gang stalking. And meanwhile, like, everyone already knows, no one cares. Like, gang stalking has been going on for like 2,000 years. Like, no one's gonna do anything to stop it. You know, that sounds kind of morose. You know, I don't mean to be like morose or something. You know, I appreciate her positive outlook, and she has positive energy too. She's just like easy to talk to. You know, she has a nice tongue. She stuck her tongue out at me to tell me to show her my dick. And then she stuck her tongue out, and it was like really cute and really cool. And I felt like, oh my God, this was my first sexual interaction I've had in like 8 years. And this is like effortless. You know, it wasn't like an ego thing. Like, oh, it's so cool, man. Oh, I got a hot babe to just stick her tongue out and make me horny. You know, like, I was always cool to just be taking it by ear. Never actually like needing more sexual stuff than what was happening. You know, because I fucking love her. I fucking love her. And so, yeah, there are like issues I've had, like resentments, and, you know, I'm sure she's saying, how dishonest. You know, you said you weren't mad at that, and suddenly I am mad. Well, yeah, I guess in hindsight, when you stop talking to me, suddenly I'm angry. You know, a bitch is someone who, I forget. I'm not calling her a bitch, but apparently guys call girls a bitch or a slut when they sleep with. When a girl doesn't sleep with you, you call her a bitch. When a girl sleeps with you, but then she sleeps with other guys, you call her a slut. When she sleeps with more, you know, this is apparent. This is like a quote I heard. Okay, this is not something that I would say. Okay, I don't agree with that. Certainly, though, I have been a little bit zippy since she stopped talking to me, and but I always feel hypocritical about that, because I know that after she talks to me again, I think, oh great, what did I say on my video? Did I say anything wrong? Like, I hope I didn't, you know, I thought I lost her, so I was already going into talking shit, and now she's back, and I think, oh God, she's gonna watch my videos and dump me again. Oh no. So, You know, like the last thing and I sent her a package too in the mail, and I told her that the last thing I said to her was, I'm gonna mail you a present, and she didn't even respond. And so I'm just trying to like go about my life and live normally. And regardless what happens, I thought, what if she doesn't even talk to me again? And I just spent $10 sending her this package on this, you know, this gift I got for free. I was like, I don't care. I'm happy to get, even if we stay together and I get her a Christmas gift and she doesn't get me one, I don't even care. Because, do you know why? Because the fact that she said that she wanted to visit me, it made me so happy that that was like my Christmas gift. And it kind of like irked me too, like that she said she wanted to visit me, that I can't visit her, kind of like you're not welcome to, you know, you can kind of take things negatively sometimes. This is a lot of mushrooms. This is too much mushrooms. Mushrooms do cook down though. So this smells really good. So I'm probably going to cook the rice separately, but I don't even know. This is like gumbo or something. Do you want to see this? Check this out. And check out my microphone. This is like the coolest microphone in the world. Get some ASMR. Get my face so close with the microphone it spits oil up at my face. It burns me. And so we're going to be putting 2 cans of this lentil soup in. And then we're going to cook some rice in here too. And apparently we're supposed to brown the sausage first. And then we're supposed to, after that, then we're supposed to add the rice in the soup. And we're going to be adding ½ cup of rice. Now I was kind of hesitant to do this because if you cook the rice in the stew, it might get too mushy. And cooking it separately is more controlled. But if we cook it in the stew, which I've never done before, but I've been watching these Cajun cooking videos with Stale Cracker 420 and some other guy. And apparently if you do that, then the rice absorbs more of the flavor. And, you know, I'm reminded too, Marina told me to cook her butter chicken. You know, I'd like to cook her butter chicken if she ever visits. It is kind of worrisome to me that it's been 2 days now since she's talked to me. I kind of feel like she saw one of my YouTube videos and she got turned off and she doesn't love me anymore. But that's okay actually, because, you know, part of letting go is that you tell people what you love about them too. So I'm okay to do this. Like, my heart can... I feel corny. I feel fucking corny saying this. Okay, my heart can handle it if I tell her all the things I love about her, and she doesn't answer. And she doesn't talk to me again, you know. My heart can handle that. And so, I have been a bit sad sometimes. I mean, I was definitely fucking totally fucked up after we stopped talking for one day, you know, for like just the night we even broke up. And then when she talked to me again afterwards, I was like, I'm back in the game, boys. I'm the god. I'm the master gash fucker. I have the hottest bitch in the world. I'm the fucking king. And afterwards I was like, okay, she's still not talking to me. Where is she? Where is she? She's still not talking to me. And so here I am now cooking comfort food and about to do a water fast, which sometimes it seems like it's in vain. Here's something really fucked up. I vomited a worm, a fucking, like a fly. Yeah, have you ever seen a fly larvae? Now I've seen these worms in my rice before. ChatGPT was like, don't eat it. I was like, I'm gonna eat it anyway. I drank rancid hot chocolate powder too the other night, and ChatGPT told me not to do that. I couldn't finish it, it was actually too gross. I mean, I really shouldn't say this, But anyway, so ChatGPT is like, no, it's impossible to vomit up a worm that's alive. But I did. And I was second guessing myself. Did I really? No, I'm sure I did. Then I asked Google. Google's like, yeah, it's totally possible. Then, and this is the part I shouldn't say, this is like violation, someone I know has diverticulitis. I asked Google, is the symptoms of eating fly eggs and having worms the same as diverticulitis? It said, yep. Then I told it to that person, and that person said, well, that's funny, because when I was going to get my endoscopy, I had to drink this Periolite stuff to flush my system out, and a worm came out that was dead. So I'm thinking, did gang stalkers put fly eggs in our food? Or, because we have these like fly maggots that crawl on our ceilings sometimes. And I don't know where they're from. They might be from my room. I don't know. I have to clean my room. I got in big trouble for not cleaning my room. We have these like fucking worms. They're periodically just around. Fucking gross. So yeah, it's kind of difficult to want to do a water fast to get healthy when you've already met a super hot babe and she doesn't even like you, and the only reason you want to get healthy is so that some hot babe likes you. So this is half a cup of rice. Seems like not a lot. We're gonna leave this here. And we're going to put this right here. Yeah, okay, so we're cooking this down. There's a lot of water in here. I feel like I should even drain that. Maybe I will. I love cooking in cast iron. And so I've been eating cooked food now for a couple days. You know what? Maybe the steam is actually good. We need the steam to cook the sausages, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. Let's just remove some of this water. It's too much water. If we even can. I don't even think I can. The other thing is there flavor in this water? Am I losing umami flavor? I should probably keep it. Let's just turn the heat up even more and fucking boil these down. Okay, so we can cut the sausage now. I'm gonna do thin slices. I don't want big chunks of sausage. I wondered too if maybe she was kind of weaning off. She couldn't just stand a hard breakup. So she's like, okay, let's just do it slowly. Cold turkey. Which I don't know why anyone would do that. I had a lot of second guessing about things I said. Part of me was thinking, when she sent me this text about gooning, she said, have you ever heard of gooning? I said, yeah, I've heard of gooning. I thought, this is spiritual right now. She's telling me to goon. Because she's psychic. And she knows that if I don't goon, I'm going to get manic. And I'm going to say something that breaks us up. And if I goon, I'm going to not say things that break us up. And she has a feeling of it on the psychic spiritual level. Look at this. Look how much sausage is in here. This is actually a really good ratio. I was worried it was too much other stuff, but this is really good. Okay, this is like fucking perfect, actually. We have it on level 5 heat. So we're gonna cook out a lot of this liquid. And then once we get this nice and browned, we're gonna add some seasoning, some spice mix. I found one of those worms on this bottle. And how would the worm get inside this cupboard? It was an odd place. It was on the outside of this bottle of our special spice mix. Super cheap too, we use so much spice mix. Get it at the bulk barn. So we're gonna do 2 cans of soup. And we have a little bit more cooking to do. So, you know, there's this guy named Paul Nivea, I think is his name. I can't remember his last name, but it starts with an N. And if you try to slow down a song, say on YouTube you watch a music video and you slow the song down to 0.25% speed, then your song is going to sound kind of distorted. And then if you take that same song to Audacity and you slow it down the same amount, it actually sounds really fucked up. And you'd think it would sound way better in a professional or like, you know, a consumer-free downloadable app or something, a program. It's not an app, you can't, there's no app for that, you can't have it on your tablet. But you download Audacity on your computer, you fucking tempo change the song without changing the pitch, you slow it down. Your 5-minute song, you slow it down to 20 minutes, and it sounds like echoed, like boom, 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 boom. It sounds completely unlistenable. And so I asked ChatGPT, I said it didn't work. The instructions you gave me didn't work. It sounds echoey, it sounds totally, I'd be better off listening to it on YouTube, where the quality is decreased, but it at least sounds normal. ChatGPT was like, you need something called Paul Stretch. I was like, is that a program? It was like, no, it's an effect in Audacity. I was like, okay. And so Paul Stretch is the way you actually slow down the song. So I've slowed down my favorite songs, Roan by Macadamia, Boards of Canada, Affinity, Boards of Canada, Untitled Tune, and The Neighborhood, Private, which I actually sang that to the wrong chords the other day. And I slowed it down to like 48 minutes. I don't know how that happened. I think I did it twice. So I'm listening to Roan by Macadamia. But I said to ChatGPT, is the guy who invented the Paul Stretch named Paul? And ChatGPT was like, yep. That's why it's called Paul Stretch. Like the S on stretch kind of double plays as Paul's Stretch, because he figured out how to do it. So if you hear someone slowing down your favorite song to a 10-hour track to make like ambient background noise, it's Paul Nivea who invented the technology to do that. And so thanks to the Paul Stretch, I now have my favorite songs at 25% speed for real in high quality, which is like the fucking best. Okay, so this is drying up here. This is kind of starting to brown up. And we're going to be deglazing this too. I could add a little bit of cooking wine. So I'm going to do that. You got to go very light on the cooking wine. About a spoon. You know, you can overdo it on the cooking wine. You can hear it sizzle. Starting to, ooh, it smells like alcohol. It's starting to stick to the bottom of the pan. This is going to be very meaty. Mushrooms are like natural. This is all organic too. Which, who cares? Who gives a shit? But it just happens to be organic. Mushrooms are very meaty. They're like the natural vegan meat. So it will be kind of difficult to have the morale to do the water fast without Marina if she's not back, you know. I don't exactly know what's happening with her, but that's okay. You know, that's fine. Life is full of these things. And we have our blood test coming back, hopefully tomorrow or by Monday at the latest. I could just start the water fast tomorrow if I wanted to. And as for people you love being gang stalkers, yeah, you know, I almost don't like catching them. Like, supposing you live with a gang stalker and you can say, okay, you have your camera out, and you could say, look, I'm about to leave my room, and as soon as I leave my room, the person I live with is gonna cough. And watch, just listen, okay? I'm gonna open my door, and as soon as I open my door, they're gonna cough. And you're like, okay, see, I'll get them. I'll expose them. And then you're like, but I love this person. Why would I even want to expose them? And this person who's doing this cough, they don't even want to be doing it. If they don't do it, they're going to lose their job. Someone's going to fuck with them. Someone's going to hurt them. They're under threat and duress. They have the legal, in a court of law, they could say, I'm being human trafficked too, dude. I'm a prisoner being forced to torture you. So, don't blame the fucking messenger. I'm just the assassin. I'm just the assassin. And so you almost think, yeah, and it's not so much about not wanting to expose them. You can expose them in a good way too. Like, you could say, I love this person. I'm exposing the program. I'm not exposing them. But really what matters is that your heart is calling out that, how could you be doing this to me? How could you be fucking torturing me? And you talk such a big game about family values and love, and you're aren't you just so perfect, and you're just, the picturesque morality of wholesomeness, and you hate people who are bullies, and look what you're doing to me here. You're fucking, you're fucking gaslighting me to death. Thank God I figured it out. Thank God I had the internet to figure out what was going on. Now that I understand, it's cool, but before I understood, this could have killed me. This could have made me, fucking self-delete. And you would have just went along with it. And then you would have been there at the funeral going, oh my God, he had mental illness. And you'd know the whole time what was going on. And you're, gonna talk to me about loyalty and, talking shit about certain family members. Like, oh, this family member is such a coward. If the house is burning down and you were a baby, they would have just let you die. Oh, you'd let me die too. You would let me die too. Now, could I say I'm any better? I don't know. Everyone likes to think, everyone likes to think that they're better. So I just added a half a cup of water, and that's going to deglaze the pan. I added in a pretty big chunk of paste, bouillon paste. I'm worried the pan is actually going to be too full. Yeah, it's going to be too full. Shit. This is bad news. Oh boy. Okay, well, we're going to go to plan B. We're going to use this big ol' motherfucker. Now, those people too, who I'm talking about, who I'm not going to name, they love me too, tonight they were fucking seemingly really heavily gang-stalking me, sleep depriving me, and with directed sleep deprivation methods, and but I know that was an order that came from somewhere else. And they, they give me they're nice to me, they give me, gifts and stuff. They would cry at my funeral. It wouldn't just be fake tears, it would be fake, I don't know what happened, he was just so mentally ill. But they would cry. So, I have to say, they do love me, don't they? Okay, so here we have the rice. I guess this is like a gumbo. Now, we don't want to overcook this rice. We don't want it to be mushy. So I'm going to have to ask ChatGPT how to do this. So we will be back when this is closer to finished. Okay, so the stew is done over here. It's al dente when I turned the heat off as far as the rice. And then I added some sprucer uppers, a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of salt, a little bit of spice mix. And now it's too hot out. Too hot in there, I mean. So we can say another thing I love about Marina, which is if I don't love her, she doesn't love me. Like, she's really sensitive. Like, if I were to just talk shit about her, she would not take that for granted. And she would, like, kind of keep her space. And if I am nice to her, she listens to everything I say. And I'm the same with her, too. Like, I don't take anything she says for granted. Like, it's nothing like, oh, I didn't even mean that. Or, like, it wasn't even like that. Like, everything has an effect. And so, like, I value everything she says, and I think she values everything I say, too. So let's try this. Yeah, that's hearty. But I can imagine how fucked up certain gang stalkers would feel. Like, you're like basically ending someone's life, and they're so cool. Like, and I was watching this podcast, and there were people talking about how there will be like great works of art or like beautiful landscapes, and people are like, yeah, it's just a peanut. It's just a peanut falling off a tree. Like, the guy gave this analogy. He said it would be like if you had a baby, and I was like, well, it's nothing much, you know, it's just like a peanut falls off a tree. It doesn't mean anything. And like, I'm seeing this guy, Joel Henson, I'm watching on YouTube. He's like this competitive eater. And I see like his issues, like I see his insecurity. I'm kind of looking at him from the perspective of a woman. I see like his essence. I see like how cool he is, how he's struggling, how he has pride that he's taking care of his girlfriend. You know, how he feels kind of stupid that he eats animals like an oaf. You know, like his job is to like stuff his face, and he's trying to balance that and feel like a cool guy. And sometimes he's driving in his convertible, and he's kind of like, yeah, dude, like Steve-O, like, yeah, dude, what's that? And but then you can see like he has a real pride, like he's taking care of his family. I think he's a TI too. And then like some woman in a minivan just tries to kill him, like just kill him, just kill him. Like he has like a whole life, like he has like so much layers and like just so much grandeur in his life, like so much fucking awesomeness in his life, and he's struggling, and it's like his whole life, and some woman's like, just kill him, just kill him, just fucking kill him. You know, it's crazy. But not all gang stalkers are like that. You know, like, I feel bad for a lot of gang stalkers who are like, who recognize the value of life and then see what they're removing. And so I always try to like be mindful to them, because there are a lot of gang stalkers who I love, who I don't want them to suffer. I don't want them to have like emotional pain or to feel like guilt or anything. And then sometimes I think, well, why doesn't everyone just become a TI? Like, wouldn't that be the thing? Wouldn't that be the only thing that stops us from like having global war? But at the same time, there's lots of places I don't go. I mean, I barely go outside sometimes just because I'm afraid of the gang stalkers. So like, I'm afraid of them too. And like, gang stalkers are afraid of other gang stalkers. So if you don't follow the rules as a gang stalker, you're gonna get gang stalked. So how can I really complain? Okay, this stew is pretty good. It might need to be a little more salty, but maybe not. You know, Frank Tufano, he's a TI, and he has this, like, Frankie's free-range meat business. As a vegan, I'm against it, but I love Frankie. He's gotten cosmetic surgery. You know, he's a real character. He's an eccentric person. And he got a chargeback. Someone bought eggs from him in October, and they went rotten by December. And so they did a chargeback. And all the comments were just making fun of him. Like 100% of the comments were just like, yeah, it's probably Dr. Taban, the doctor who botched his eye surgery. He used to be good looking. He kind of is now. He's had like a lot of surgeries. I don't know how he gets his money. I think he's debt maxing. I think he's like $1 million in debt or something. He ordered a Wagyu cow, and they wasted it at the border. They're like, sorry, you can't let this cross the border. Those are like $30,000. He was so upset. He's like, you have no idea. It's not just about the money. It's that when you order one of these Wagyu cows, I had to convince this guy for like a year to sell me this cow. He's not going to sell me another one. He's going to blame me that it got stuck at the border, got wasted. He's not just like in it for the money. He's like a true artisan. Like, and the reason why he had to argue with him for a year was about the shipping. Which, Frankie should have listened to that guy. I think Frankie sometimes has some issues. Like, he seems a bit like overly eccentric, or like not savvy business wise. Like he seems like he's like wasting and losing money. But he has a good work ethic. He's pure-hearted. He's really nice. I root for him. I really like him. And his videos never get ratioed. All the comments are like making fun of him usually, but his videos always get more likes than the bad comments get likes. There's always less comments than there are likes on this video. So what do you think I should think about Marina, if she messages me tomorrow or not? You know, sometimes when I was in love with Chelsea, sometimes she would just take like a day or two, I think even 3, to get back to me. She told me once her boyfriend didn't message her for a whole week, which gave me a cuckold fetish. I even considered praying that Marina will talk to me. I don't even believe in God. Like, I believe in godliness though. But really I wouldn't pray. I would just have the bettor's gambler's mindset, where you're hoping and prepared to take the heartbreak if it doesn't go the way you want. Other times I think, you know what? Don't even hope. You know, you let them go, and if they come back, it's meant to be. And if they don't come back, it's not meant to be. So what's the point of even hoping? God forbid we are telepathic. And she's trying to have some neutrality. And suddenly she's getting these messages from me in her mind going, come on, come on, come on. So I'm not doing that. You know, I gotta enjoy being single. And frankly, I am. I mean, what else can you do? My dad would say, to get over one girl, you get under a new one. Well, I don't really have any girlfriends, so what else can I do than to try to make my body hot, my brain work properly, so that I can get a girlfriend. If Marina dumps me, then, you know, I can get Marina. And if Marina dumps me, then I can get a different girlfriend. Well, that's letting go, or that's like giving freedom, isn't it? I think so. Ow, 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 fuck. I just tried to sit cross-legged and I slid this part of my foot over the edge of the chair, which really hurt because I didn't have enough room to sit cross-legged on the chair. That was fucking painful. When I hear myself chewing, I think you chew too fast. You need to calm way down. So if I start a water fast, I'll have my electrolytes tested. I could have waited for a week to do that before, like water fasting first. That didn't make sense. I could have water fasted for a week or two, then did an electrolyte test to see if it's safe to going the second week or two. That may have been more intelligent. But I should get my results back tomorrow. Even if not, I can start tomorrow, get my results on Monday, and then, because you're not going to do much damage in 3 days, if you know. And it's kind of scary. I'm going to have to stop checking off. I'm probably going to have a lot of issues, a lot of emotional issues come up. There's science behind it. I can't really remember the science, but when you're water fasting, if you have any emotional issues, they're going to come up. And that's pretty fucking scary. And you have no crutches, you can't jack off, you can't even have a hot bath. You can't go to the gym, you can't go for an exercise, there's nothing you can do. You just have to sit there and just go, yep, okay, having emotional issues. Okay, emotional issues, And then the whole time you're going, and who cares anyway if I get fit, and it doesn't matter anyway, and I'm never gonna succeed anyway. And I'm gonna go back to eating junk food anyway. And I don't have the resolve anyway. And I'm always gonna be a loser anyway. But I feel actually I really didn't want to do this, but I have to drink orange juice. There's no more cold bubbly. I have to drink orange juice. I didn't want to do this. I feel like a loser, actually. I have like winner friends. I have like genius millionaire friends. Self-made millionaire friends. Intergenerational millionaire friends. Super high status, highfalutin. I'm like a fucking loser over here. My best friend, he's in the mental ward. He's just a regular guy. I don't think he slams much gash. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm a fucking loser. And you know what? I think, because I had this high status New York girlfriend, doctor, psychiatrist. She wanted to fuck me and my highfalutin friend, Travis. I thought, if Marina comes back to me, I'm going to have a threesome with her and my best friend. And we'll be the losers club. Like, Marina says she's a loser too. Like, she's like, I can't even get a boyfriend either. Like, I'm a fucking loser too. So I'm actually a loser. As it turns out, I'm a loser. If you're friends with me, if you have affinity with me, probably you're a loser. We're like the losers club from the movie It Part 2, Chapter 2. The losers club. And like, we're haunted by the clown. The clown is like the way of the world, like the devilishness of the clown. I think we have more endearing qualities. I think it's a lot better to be a loser. And even if Marina is not liking me, I at least have a friend. I at least have a best friend who's a loser too. I hope Marina joins our club. I have some other friends too. But the difference is my winner friends, they're too high status. They're all talking about, you need to take you need to go on medication, and you need to go to the doctor, and you're crazy. And I'm like, I know that you know you're lying. I know that you know that I know you're lying, and you're still playing the act. What's it all for? I know you're forced. I understand, but it goes even beyond that. I can tell you're really trying to fit in. You're really trying to defend it and to get high and to be someone. why don't you just stop trying to be cool? Because all those people you're trying to be cool for, they don't even like you. They hate you. And if you stop karma farming, probably everyone knows this. Okay, I'm super retarded, so I don't know things. I just found this out because I was on Reddit. I was like, I go on the Centaurs Girls subreddit. So a centaur girl she has anorexic upper body, obese lower body. And there was this one centaur named Blonde Baby Supermodel. She has 40-inch hips, 20-inch waist. She said, I stopped posting here because the girls on here are not even centaurs. Her name is Patricia Tarka, if you want to see her. She has the most accentuated hips I've seen, I think. It's crazy. I said to ChatGPT, a lot of times the highest rated girls on my Centaur Girls subreddit are not even that hot. And the very hottest ones are not even rated high. What's the deal? ChatGPT was like, karma farming, something like that. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Certain creators like each other's content to boost their ratings, and they artificially get up higher. And if you think about it, the ugliest girls would do that. It's like sort of the electronic version of wearing makeup. Orange juice is fucking amazing. Oh my god. And so when I was first in love with Chelsea, which was very amazing, when I was about 28, because I was in love with her when I was about 20 as well. When I was about 20, I was still trying to be a superstar. I was making her these songs with these fake cheering, like I was a superstar, and trying to convince her I was someone. I lied to her that I was, that I was basically important. And then she gave me a cuckold fetish. She lied to me in some really hurtful ways. Not all lies are equal. When I was 28, I felt like I'm a loser and she loves me. And my whole life is fucking sacred. I thought it was mundane. I thought my friend was just a loser, but I'm somehow cool. I was like, no, I'm a loser too. And now I realize that we're the coolest people ever. That Kitchener, Ontario is the center of the world. Like, it's the fucking, like, where I live, this is like heaven. This is like the best place on earth. My best friend, he's the fucking best. Like, my family doctor, he's the best. The waitress at Bentan, she's the best. My family, they're the best. Okay, I don't have to go anywhere. I was trying to get somewhere. I was trying to be something. I was like, my God, finally I realize it. I'm the family man now. Now I'm Nicolas Cage in The Family Man. Now it's like I'm not trying to get anywhere else. I'm fucking here, and this is the best. I'm really trying to slow down my chewing. You realize all your transcendence, your self-actualization moments, and then some woman in a minivan she just fucking kills you. She's like, yeah, just fucking kill him. She doesn't perceive any of it. She's trying to get like high status in the Illuminati. She's like, I'll sacrifice anyone. I'll kill my own kid. I'll do anything. They're like, yeah, just kill that guy. She's like, okay, I'll kill him. Just goes and fucking kills some guy. No idea the value that she's removing. I'm so into like cleaning my fucking beard. And so again, I'm sort of feeling like that. But now I'm feeling like that without the help of Chelsea, and even without the help of Marina. I need another bowl. I'll be right back. And maybe I need the help of my friend to do that too. But I think I can feel pretty contented just even on my own. And that makes my possibility to have relationships more real. I had said this morning that I had just found my meditation, and earlier on I had felt like it was this like energy rising up around me, going like around my head, and then this morning it felt like it went the same kind of direction, but like it was coming from the inside, kind of. I was really tired. Okay, I was like really tired. I had a nap, I slept for a while, and then after I woke up, I was like, man, what the hell was I talking about? I can't even remember what the hell I was talking about. And all this meditation stuff, I don't even know what I was talking about. But I meant it when I was saying it, but I don't feel it anymore. So I'm not really sure if I still have my meditation going on. I think I do though. Like, I've been sealing my Tootsie Roll. But definitely don't ever let me be your spiritual guide. Okay, if you need any spiritual guidance, go to Osho. I might be an intermediary. Sometimes it helps if you can find someone who's a bit ahead of you or a bit behind you. Sometimes you need to see both. You need to see when you've surpassed someone, and you need to see someone who's surpassed you, and then you need to see someone who's surpassed the person who surpassed you. If that makes sense, there's different. You should be able to see where you are on a map in your spiritual journey. One of the things I like about myself is that I feel like Osho's presence is here with me, so I don't like to lie. And so if I'm not actually that spiritual, I like to say, actually, I'm not that spiritual, and I wish I was, but I'm not. And for a long time, I would have really liked to believe I'm spiritual, so I would have really liked for you to believe I'm spiritual too, because that would help me believe it. Back then, I would have tried anything to be spiritual. I would have said, well, I'm admitting that I'm not spiritual, which is actually pretty honest, which is pretty spiritual. I can at least say that I don't know if I'm spiritual. That's at least an honest assessment, and that makes me spiritual. Maybe it's true. Maybe an enlightened man really can only say, I don't know who I am. And maybe the upwards flowing energy was Kundalini rising. Maybe it wasn't actually meditation. Maybe I am spiritual, but I'm not a master. Maybe I'm more an arhata than a bodhisattva. An arhata reaches enlightenment, but they don't know how to describe it. And a bodhisattva knows the art of describing it. Maybe I'm a bad communicator, and what I'm describing as enlightenment or meditation is really just Kundalini rising. Which Osho's comment on Kundalini is it's helpful, but it's not mandatory. You can go all the way to enlightenment, and you don't need Kundalini rising. Someone like Gurdjieff was against Kundalini, because he said you're only imagining that. Osho was like, no, Kundalini is real. But you don't need it. The thing I'm mainly concerned about is that my energy doesn't leak. So I seal my Tootsie Roll, I seal my Hara. The Hara is the death center. Hare Krishna, I think. Hare Kri. I think that's called Japanese suicide, where they stick the knife through an inch beneath their stomach. It's where the death center is. And it's not a chakra, it's a place where energy escapes. So what I'm concerned of is I seal my Tootsie Roll, I seal my Hara, and then I just let my energy stay within myself. And then when I breathe, there's an oceanic tide. My energy goes in and out with my breath, but it's all in my body. I breathe in, my energy breathes in, my energy comes up. It's like a current. The current's flowing up, and as it's flowing up, there's already current flowing down, and it's going shh. And that's what I need to not. That's what I have when I don't have the leaking energy. I also really enjoyed my conversation with the nurse who took my blood. And I'm not trying to be a flirt here. I'm just trying to say, when you can talk close up with someone with eye contact, you have a really good conversation. I just felt like it was amazing. I mean, have you ever went to the strip club and you're talking to the stripper and you're just like, but you don't do that because that's rude. You keep looking at them, but in your mind, this is what you're doing. And as soon as you do that, they can tell, and they do the same thing too. But can you keep your intensity? Can you keep your interest? I could. It was fucking cool. Can you not have some kind of inconvenient thought? Some unwanted thought that makes things weird? It's not something perverse or dirty. It's just something, oh, I'm not interested in this, or this feels too vulnerable to me, or I'm just aloof. And of course, the conversation is irrelevant. What you really love is the energy of the person. This girl had a big skull. She was beautiful. She was really nice. I really liked her. She didn't have wide hips, but she had a very pretty face. And she was very intelligent. A very quality person. Someone who, when you see them, you know instantly, without them even talking, you know they don't smoke. You know they don't really drink. Maybe socially here and there, but you know they don't smoke. You know they probably barely ever drink. You know they're educated, or you know they have their own car. You know they have their own place. You know they know about things. You know, if you say about water fasting, you know they'll already understand autophagy. Their renaissance quality is intact. You can talk about a lot of topics, and they're going to know a lot about a lot. They're going to know a little bit about a lot of different topics. A very eclectic kind of person. And just within 1 second, you can see that on them. They're not a bitch. They're not rude. They're not despondent and depressed. They're not hating their job. They're not a pushover. And just from the way they carry themselves, you can see that. And I thought, thank God it's you taking my blood. Oh my God, you're so fucking cool. You know, I really wanted it to be you. So anyway, this is really hearty. I feel fucking full. And so anyways, okay, so another thing I really love about Marina, I just want to say all these things because I don't want to have anything left on my heart. And I know she's going to be mad at me for saying this because it's too personal, okay? I'm aware of that. But I would literally fucking live with her, so I'm already part of the losers club. Anyone who likes me wouldn't even judge. So she thinks that the gang stalkers are getting her. And I was like, that makes me love you so much more. And I asked ChatGPT why that makes me love her more. Like the same with the... And it says it's actually a real psychological reaction that she's sharing something that's vulnerable and trust. So when someone shares something deeply personal, irrational, or anxious, it shows vulnerability. And I do think the gang stalker, seeing her expose a fear like that, can make you feel close and more protective, which your brain interprets as love or attachment. That's interesting. Maybe it's not really love. Caretaking instincts. Someone who needs reassurance or care makes you want to be that role. It amplifies emotional bonding for you to be supportive. Acceptance of her as she is. The fact that you can hold affection for her, it creates a sense of I accept. Novelty and uniqueness. Her belief is highly unusual and highly specific. People often feel drawn to uniqueness in a partner, which can heighten romantic or sexual attraction. Projection of innocence. Sometimes quirks or unusual beliefs are unconsciously interpreted as childlike innocence or purity, which can increase fondness and protectiveness. Key point, it's not about her belief itself, it's about how it triggers your feelings of connection, care, and intimacy. Your brain sees her as vulnerable and unique, which strengthens your emotional support. If you want, I can explain how this dynamic affects long-term attraction and bonding, and why it can actually make your relationship feel stronger. Okay, I said my girlfriend. Okay, I shouldn't have said that, but I'll just say yeah. So ChatGPT thinks I'm talking about my girlfriend now. I'm really not. Okay, I recognize that her and I are broken up. So it says, well, I don't need to go into that, because why would I? Because we're not together. I just want to say all the things I love about her. I know she's not going to like that I said this stuff, okay? I know she's not going to like it. But I don't care, because I want to say it. And how else am I going to tell her? Because really, who am I saying it for? To her. I'm saying it to you, Marina. Okay? And I don't give a shit about anyone else. So, except for the people I like, and they don't judge. So, And I'm not talking about girls who I want to fuck. I'm talking about a general audience of people who I love. Which are very small, because I'm a loser. Okay.